Evening, everybody. Tonight I'm going to be doing New Look 6892. Now, I've done this before. I'm switching it around a little because I have so much material or fabric. You know, when you cut out a shirt, you always have some left, and I have tons of it. So, an easy way to get another shirt out of whatever material that you have, we're going to have a back seam, your side seams, and a front seam, but it's all going to be a French seam. So we're going to have the 4 seams going along, and this is the easiest shirt I could find to show you how to do it. So I have some of my material here. So usually you put this down on the center fold. But like I said, I have so much of material that some of it's wide and some of it's short. So what I'm going to do is take my first piece and I'm going to pin it and cut it out. And then I'll come back to another section of my fabric and I'll turn my pattern over and cut it this way. That way we'll have the right sides going. You will have your 5/8" seam, but I'll show you how to do the seam. It makes it look a little bit fancier to me. So, like I said, I just have so much of this that is just not wide enough, or I just have to use it up. And I thought this was really pretty to just make a summer shirt out of. So I'm going to get this ironed. It's a little wrinkly. I'm going to get this ironed, and then I'll show you how to do this. And this one will have the banded sleeve. Also, I'm not going to use the elastic. It will have the elastic neckline, but I think this will be real pretty, and it's just gonna have like a 4-seam shirt. So let me get this ironed and then we'll start. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just place my piece down and pin it. And then we'll cut this out. I'm making a size 12. It's a way to use up your material. Even like when you make pajama pants, you always have a strip of material left and you throw it in your scrap and you really don't know what to do with it. So I started making shirts like this. And I remember my aunt doing something like this because she would just have so much material left. Okay, so once you get that all pinned out, cut this first piece out, and then we'll move down and get the other smaller piece and cut this the opposite way. Okay, once you have that cut out, flip over your pattern and pin it again as close as you can get it where, you know, you just have a little scrap left. And cut this out. Now, if you have enough to fold for the front, you know, that's awesome, or the back, and you just need to do this for one side, a front or a back. You can do this also. So just pin up this and cut this piece out. And then we'll do it for the front. Okay, so then just cut this out. And I'm gonna make this so there's the seam in the front and the seam in the back, and then I can sew my sides together regular, but this way I'll have like French seams on the back and the front, just to give it a little different type of style. So let me get this one cut out. Okay, and do the same for your front. And just get it, like I said, as close to where you just have a little scrap left. So just pin it and then cut, and then flip your pattern and cut again. So let me get this done, and then we can cut out our sleeves. I'll probably make, I don't know, maybe 3/4 sleeves. All right, let me get this done. Okay, and then just cut out your next piece. And this pattern's really fun to play around with. If you don't want the elastic in the neck, all you have to do is gather your neckline and then pull your strings, you know, to make it tight to where you want it. And then just gather it up that way. But this pattern's really, it's a fun pattern to play around with. And don't be scared to play around with patterns and change them, and that's the fun of sewing. So just cut this piece, and this piece next to me is going to be big enough for my bands. So I can use this little piece up for my bands. So that's my front. Now usually my bands I make 4 inches wide. So let's see where we are. Yeah, that'd be just about there. So they are usually 4 by 12. So I'll just cut 2 pieces of this. And then I'll straighten them out off camera just to make them alright. So here's our bands. And now we just have the sleeve. So there's my bands, which I'll do after. Okay, then the sleeve. Figure out what you want. If you want long sleeve, if you want a shorter sleeve, you know, if you want 3/4. I think I have this folded up for 3/4. Yeah. So about 3/4. So then I'll cut my sleeves out. And I'll see if I have enough where I can fold over and cut both of them. If not, I'll have to cut them out separately. But you gotta use up that fabric. Okay, I have enough to fold. So just pin your sleeves and cut them out. And then we'll start sewing. So see, like this is my end to one of my smaller pieces. So at least I get to use it up. And when you do, I can get more pins. And also with this pattern, it's a lot of fun, like if you do the seam, and if you don't want to do the French seam, you can always take lace and make a design, you know, so you would have your lace going down. You can put some, you know, like across your waist or down below. Near your hem, just to switch it out. And I'm wearing my my Vermont Strong shirt. They got flooded out again really bad, and my prayers go out to them. That's my home state. I love Vermont, and I'm just praying for the people. So in honor of them, I'm wearing my Vermont Strong shirt. So please keep everybody from Vermont in your prayers tonight. Okay, let me get this cut out. Okay, while you're all cutting your fabric out, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. I'm pretty low right now. But if at this time, if you would please like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up. Also tomorrow I'll be making a video for a free pattern for September. Sheila won this month, so we'll have another drawing for September, and I'll get that video out tomorrow. But I'm gonna grab myself a cup of coffee and then we'll start sewing. Okay, so I'm back. So the first thing you're gonna do, this is my back piece, and you're gonna pin wrong sides together, okay? And we're gonna sew this 5/8 all the way down. Okay, so open up your shirt. For some reason, my bobbin was coming out blue, but I have white thread in there. That's the strangest thing. All right, well, anyways, I'm gonna cover it so it won't show. So open up your shirt. So your seam is on the outside. And iron this flat. And then come back and iron it going towards your right. Now take your scissors and as close as you can, take off one of these seams. Just be careful you don't cut your shirt. I've done that before. Okay. Just iron that out. So then what you're going to do is fold this raw edge to this raw edge and press it. Ooh, that iron's getting hot. Oh, a little bit. There we go. Okay, then come back over and fold it over again and press it. And then you might want to pin it in a couple spots just so you know that this stays down where you want it. I'm just going to pin it there. Pin it here. Just go down and just pin it so it kind of stays folded. And then go back to the sewing machine and you're going to go and you're going to sew close to this folded edge. I did some weeding yesterday and I broke off all my nails and now it's so hard to sew because I don't have any nails to get anything. But okay. So then you'll have something like this. So you're going to sew as close as you can to this folded line. And then you're going to do this to the front also. So just get it as close as you can. Know why that is coming out. Now I know why it's coming out blue. Hold on a minute. I forgot to change my top thread. That's why it's coming out blue. I don't know what I was thinking. Here's my white. I was fixing some of my daughter's clothes last night and I have all different colored threads all over the place. All right. Okay, so always start with your needle down. And just try to go as close as you can to this folded line. Alright, let me get this done and then I'll show you what it'll look like. Okay, and this is what you'll have. This is my back, but this is just a French seam. And then just come back and just press it. Okay, so my back is finished. And you have to do that to the front also. I need to get some water for my iron. And a lot of people have been asking me about my iron, and it's a Panasonic, and it's model NI-QL1000, and it's actually Panasonic for quilting, and it has the 2 points, and it's, I guess, what do you say, rechargeable, or that's the other side of it. And it just charges up, or, okay. And I love this iron. I got it off of Amazon. My daughter had got me one before, and I used it for a few years, and then it died, but, so I ordered another one. Okay, so this is what the back will look like. And you really don't have that seam on the back inside. It's sewn down, so it wouldn't bother you, but it just gives you a different look. So I'm gonna do my front piece, and like always, I'm going to put my safety pins on my front piece, so I know that this is the front. And then just go ahead and do the exact same thing for your front. I gotta find some safety pins, or a safety pin. But just put the right sides together. Do your 5/8, and then open them up, and then trim the one side, fold it again, and then stitch it up. So this is the right side, and this is the right side. Yep. Okay, and then just pin away and do the exact same thing you did for the back. I'm just looking for a safety pin. I don't know where they all went. And I'm sure I won't get this done tonight. I won't make a part 2. I'll just keep going with this in the morning and get it finished up. And then, as you all know, that I'm in Florida, we have a storm coming. We don't know if it's going to be a hurricane yet or not, but if it is, then you know why I haven't put out, a video in a few days, if that comes through. All right. So just sew this up. Be sure I got right sides together. Yeah. This material is hard to... And do the exact same thing. And then I'll meet you back here. Okay, now we sew our sides together. Now, if you want to keep this going so it looks the same all the way around with your seams, your French seams, then do that. If you don't, you can just, turn them under and sew. I think I'm going to keep this going. So I'll do the exact same thing to my sides. And just sew them up. Because I think that would look really neat. It'll look like it's quartered. Get this pinned up, do the same thing. And then it'll look like this all the way around. It'll have the seam here, on the sides, on the back, and on the front. Okay, let me get this done. And I'll be back. Okay, so I have my front done, my sides, my back. So this is what you'll have. Okay, now get your sleeves. And because we're not doing the elastic, we don't have to make the casing for the elastic because we're going to be putting the bands on. But you're going to sew up the sides of your sleeves. Now, if you want to keep it going the same way, which I'm going to, I'm going to do the right or the wrong sides together. And I'm going to make that seam on the outside. So everything's going to match. This takes a little bit longer, but it's just fun to play around with the patterns and, do different things. So you're going to do the exact same thing that you did for the body of the shirt, for the sleeves. So 5/8, and then iron it, cut the one side, flip it, and press it and sew it. So let me get this one done. And this is when this sleeve ironing board comes in handy. So just do the exact same thing. Pin it and then just sew it down the seam. Now, if you don't want to do that, just sew these up 5/8. with the right sides together. Okay, let me get this one done. And I'll show you, and then I have to go put my bird to bed. It's getting late. I'll finish this up tomorrow. Okay, and here's my sleeve. Oh, got a piece of it. There we go. And it's going to be on the inside, but still it matches the whole shirt. Okay, let me put that one with this. And then I have one more to do. But I'm gonna get my bird to bed. It's getting late. And I'll finish this up tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. You all have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.